Hey, what's up everybody? So today's kind of an interesting day. I'm going to show you something pretty cool. My dad and I went to a location to pick up a safe, and we happened to see an item that we thought would be good to use for certain situations. So my dad agreed that we would go back up during the public auction, which was a couple days after we were up there, and bid on an item. It's actually his. I'm just doing all the work, but we're going to use it together, and I get to play with it as much as I want, basically. So you might be asking, what is this? Let me show you. Now you're probably asking, what is that? That, my friends, is a military generator. It's in, I think it's an MEP 006A. Let's go have a look. So currently, I did make a video of us actually getting this thing here, and I will be posting it probably separately. Yeah, if you'd like to see the tag, it's an MEP 6 or 006A. Now this tag is wrong as far as the frequency. I'm not actually sure yet because I haven't run it, but it is a 60 kilowatt generator. 60 kilowatts. It is a three-phase, but can be converted to a single phase. So today I'm going to attempt to fire this thing up. Let me open it up and give you a an overview of everything, and then we'll see what's going on with this bad boy. Alright, so I got it all open. Now, before we go too much further, I did want to tell you something. You're probably going to ask how much we paid for it, and since it's not mine, I'm not going to tell you. But I will tell you that motor in there, a gentleman actually would have gave us the same amount of money for that motor by itself, without the rest of this whole entire thing, for the same price we bought it for. It was an amazing deal, let's put it that way. Now you might also ask what we're going to do with this thing. We plan on actually trying to bring it to disaster relief areas and certain situations. We are going to hopefully do some good with it. Can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee it's even going to run. But we're going to try to start it up today. So anyway, let's see what we got. Let's take a quick look at the inside. You got operating instructions. You've got your engine, oil pressure, coolant temperature, fuel level, battery, and runtime. And check this out. 142 hours. Don't know if that's accurate, but I'm gonna say it is. I don't know. Then you've got your generator portion of things. You've got your frequency, your percent of power output, your rated current, and your volts. Alright, this is actually current too, I believe. I don't know, it's configured differently. That is percentage of power. You can increase and decrease your frequency and your voltage. It does have like an override for errors. It's called a battle short. It's kind of a cool deal. You can run these in parallel or in independently. You can hook multiple of these up, and there are outputs here and then your power output there, and when you run this in parallel or series, you actually connect it to an external control box which balances the two, I guess. Engine voltage sensing, local remote, that's probably here, your feedback, panel lights. You've got a fault indicator panel here and engine specifications. This is the intake for the air. You just need it open while it's running. I will show you what the plug looks like here. It's a big old military plug. I guess that's a military standard, I'm not sure. Let's go around this side, I guess. Behind this panel is where all the connections are. I will pop this off and show you. And we'll see what's behind this panel. Alright, so I'm probably going to leave that off to run it. Basically, bad footage, I got mosquitoes biting me. I'm trying to kill them. I need to put some spray. Let me go get some spray. I hate these things. Alright, got me some bug repellent. Man, I hate them mosquitoes. They're bad out here when it starts getting dark. So here is your terminal. Now, this generator actually has a 12-wire lead on it. And you can switch it over to single phase, 220 or 120. Actually, it's 208 or 120. So anyway, that's kind of the tie connections. You've got a bunch of instrumentations. You've got a relay box, another box, there's another box over there, and then your control panel box. Your ground is out here actually, or an external extra ground. Look how big them bolts are for that generator. There's your outputs for your generator on the actual head in the back there. It does have wiring schematics and stuff on the side, which is pretty cool. So here's the big old motor. Look how big this motor is in this beast. This is an Allison Chambers 6-cylinder model 3500. It's a big boy. It is a big freaking engine. It does have a turbo on it. I personally haven't messed with diesels a whole lot, so we'll get to play with it for the first time. This is the battery tray. I already took the actual tray out because it was in pretty rusty, bad shape, so I'm going to clean it up and then I'll put it back. All the other stuff, filters and your turbocharger. There's another wiring schematic up here. This little bitty muffler, so this thing's going to be loud. Here's your exhaust. It's got a threaded fitting on it, which is pretty sweet. Run that over to my neighbor's house and annoy them with the exhaust. Ah! Oh, this has a little bucket in here for parts and things. Here is the generator head itself. That is a big generator head. There you can see it. 60 kilowatts. That's awesome. Them big old mounting bolts. This thing's pretty cool in the fact that it has an external fuel source. You can actually hook up an external fuel source, or it does have an internal. It's the tank down there. It's a 55 gallon tank. 50 of it's usable. Comes with a, this actually has an extra hose so that you can externally connect to your fuel supply, which is a pretty cool deal. The air intake, the air filter, like I said, the other switching boxes, another wiring schematic. It does have the single 120 volt out here for external use and something. Yeah, that's pretty much the overview I'm going to give you. I don't really know what else to show you. There's not much on top. But I am going to install the batteries. I've got a couple of batteries that will work. I'm going to install some batteries and we're going to try to fire this up. We're going to see if we can annoy my neighbors, because this is going to be loud. Diesel goes in here. I believe it's got a little diesel left in it. Really not for sure until I get the power turned on and see if the fuel gauge works. Records. I got my button stuck in there, didn't I? Okay. Well, I'm going to get the batteries hooked up and we'll see if the gauges and indicators work. And mosquitoes are still eating me. we'll fire this baby up, see if we can get any voltage out of it. I want to run it for at least 10 minutes, get it warmed up, and then I'll shut it down. Hopefully it isn't too loud. It's the middle of the afternoon. Now this thing's a brick. It's not sitting on any sort of trailer or anything. My good friend, my mom's boyfriend, I've been fixed a few things for him, so he did me a favor and brought me some trailer axles. So I'm gonna whack those things up and install it on this base. This is a solid frame. It doesn't really need any extra support. It's on a crate. I can mount these axles straight to it, which is probably what I'll do, but that's down the road. So let's get the batteries and hook them up, see if the indicators and gauges work, and we'll try to fire this bad boy up. It has not been ran for at least 3 years, but it did have a tune-up right before it sat where it sat for 3 years, and it's got the radiator up here. Last time I opened it up, it was nice and clean in there. Looks pretty good to me. So we'll see if we can fire this bad boy up after it's been sitting for 3 years. Now this is a cold start. It doesn't look like it has any glow plugs on it at all, but I'm not so sure of that, but I'm fairly certain it doesn't. But it might, I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna fire this bad boy up. It is designed to run and start up in extremely cold weather. Let's see, somewhere on here. We're starting at temperatures below minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit. It requires that the winterizing kit be installed. So basically it'll start at around negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit and above. Otherwise it has to have the kit, the winterizer kit, which I looked up online. I don't think this one has it, but honestly I'm not for sure. I haven't done the research yet. If it's actually installed or not, I don't know. So let's see if this bad boy starts up. See if we can annoy some neighbors. You want to? Yeah. Let me get the batteries in there and then we'll set the camera up and let her rip. Alrighty. Well, these batteries I got, the only things I have, these should still be good, but they might be dead. I hope they're not. I charged them and they seem like they held a good charge, and I tested them and they held a good, they were about half weak maybe. These connectors don't look the best, but they got a good decent connection on the bottom. This I could not tighten. It actually turned, so I beat it on there until it was tight. It's still really tight. So let's just go see if we even have power over here. The engine's on run. Let's see if we have lights. Yep, we have lights. Cool. That's a good start already. So we need to be in single operation, low oil. All of our lights work. That's a test. Obviously low oil pressure. Now it says it's got no fuel, but I'm not sure if it'll. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how that will work. So I don't know. Let's just try to fire this thing up. It's my DC amperes for my battery charging. I have no idea. We're just going to see if this thing starts. So it's starting to sprinkle, but we're just gonna crank it. We're gonna let it crank and see if it even cranks. There goes the quiet neighborhood. Let's read the descriptions. I checked all the fluids were good. Alright, check the fuel level by placing the start run switch in the run position and the battle short switch in the on position. fuel. I hear it pumping. Another quarter tank. Oil pressure's up. Alright. Radiator, the things are open here. I will let it be. It says they need to be closed, but I think we'll put it that's wrong. Alright, doors are fastened, we're good. Battery is connected. Alright. Stop, run, start. Start position. Continue holding the stop, start, run switch in the start position until the oil pressure is above 20 psi and the main generator voltage is normal. Alright, you guys ready? Here we go. Awesome. Not as loud as I thought it would be. I got the doors open too. Oh, nice. Circuit breaker on, we can try. It says it's on. Obviously my frequency is not working right. Let's see if we got both. oscilloscope and see if we can get some measurements because my frequency is not showing up correctly. Wow. That was a good 15 minutes probably. Runs great. That is awesome. That was an awesome piece of equipment right there. And it's huge. Look how big that diesel is. It's a big diesel. Well, maybe it's not for some people, but it's a big diesel. Well, it runs. It seems to function. Everything seems to be working fine. The only point of leaking it, all that I can see, is right there. And I don't know if it's leaking or if it was like that. I don't recall seeing that, but I'll have to check on these things. Other than that, when I shut it down, I saw the frequency peak up to about 53. Now I grabbed my oscilloscope and checked it, and it was actually reading at about 47 to 48 hertz. So this is actually accurate, but it's not letting me adjust it. So time to do a little bit of troubleshooting. We'll see if it's something simple, but that'll be another day. That's the end of this video. My name is Russ. RWG Research is my website, rwgresearch.com. And currently just saw an MEP006A start up after 3+ years of sitting like a top. That's awesome. Alright, peace and love to you guys. Have a good day. God bless. See ya.